So I'm talking about the culture of Korean dance, and I'm going to touch upon some of the things that Christopher talked about a little bit. How you doing, man? Okay, thanks. So before I start, I want to ask you guys all a question, okay? You guys ready?
Yes.
So I want you guys to think about the question as you would, from your perspective, okay? Not from anyone else's that you can talk. The question is, what is dance to you?
Dance is life.
Why?
No, not really.
I say that dance is an expression of emotion.
Okay. It's an expression.
It's exercise.
Exercise? Why is it exercise?
Because it's tiring.
Because it's tiring? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a way to connect with music.
Way to connect with music.
Yeah.
So like a lot of different definitions of it, right? Especially from the ways you guys are thinking of, right? And you guys are all right. And that's kind of like what I found in my study. What I found in my study is like dance itself. If you look at it, it's a collection, right? It's a collection of varied art forms, of varied styles in a given culture. In this case, we're talking about the Korean culture. And so, like from what I studied, I found Korea to be home to like a very it's a culture of dance that focuses a lot on the heart. So you were right, dude. You were right. Dance is life.
Dance is
Did you
life.
study this?
Uh-huh.
So Korean dance reflects an accord between honest work as well as beauty found in art itself, and it highlights the exhilaration or the beauty of life that we can find. And another important thing that you find in Korean dance is power. But wait a minute. When you think of the word power, what do you think of? When you think of the word power in dance?
Man.
Men?
Guys.
Maybe some guys, maybe some people think about people
Ballerino.
doing flips, right? Doing big moves, right?
Yeah.
That's what power would mean in some cases. But when we're looking and studying it in the Korean dance that I studied, power has more of a meaning of like conviction, energy. There's a guy named Michael Jackson. Like, you remember seeing him do the moonwalk the very first time, like performing Billie Jean? Remember? Like he had conviction, he had energy. Like that's the kind of power that we're talking about here when we look at Korean dance. And this is the fan dance here. And some other prevalent themes found in Korean dance is of course improv, freestyling. There's expressing yourself, not really focusing on the external of a dance, but like more the internal. There's a lot of focus on self-expression, beauty found in nature, but also Han. Not the guy from Tokyo Drift, but Han is a deep feeling made manifest through a dance. Specifically speaking, grief. And how this works is, for example, when the dancers perform, they use Han for example, they remember like the Hideyoshi invasion, and they use that negative energy and they channel that into their dance as a power. And Simyeong, which is a release of that Han, is the moment of turning that negative energy into good energy. And so I studied 3 dances in particular. I'm going to show them a little bit. But the first dance that I studied was Talchum, which Chris talked about a little bit before. It's a huge cultural symbol of Korea. A lot. Sometimes when you see like brochures for like for touring or whatever, you see the Talchum mask on a lot of these things. And Talchum itself incorporates the use of these decorator masks in everything that they do. These masks, like this one right here, look kind of crazy, but like a lot of these masks have like exaggerated expressions of rage, happiness, or even love, and it's like a performance where pansori is used, and they tell a story. It's a drama, and it satirizes the contemporary society, especially in old Korea, and a lot of some of the apostate monks that were really kind of a topic at the time. There ridicules the apostate monks, kind of pokes fun at the high class as well for those that live in righteous living. And how it originated, this is actually an apostate mom Talchum mask. That's the Sunny. No, it's not Sunny. But I don't know if you guys know about the story of the Dragon Prince. I'll call him Cho for this to be short. But Cho, he's a dragon prince, right? And he had a really beautiful wife. And this wife is so beautiful that even the evil spirits in the area lusted after her. And so he came back home one day and he found the evil spirit with his wife. And even in the face of that situation, instead of getting angry, what he did instead was he went outside and he started singing and dancing. And like the evil spirit, which was actually the spirit of smallpox, as the story goes, that's his name, Yoksam. But he was so moved by the performance of the Dragon Prince that he actually went outside, approached the Dragon Prince and apologized. And he said, Dragon Prince, I'm really sorry I did this to you. Here's what I'll do. From here on out, whenever I see your image or your image of your countenance in a household, I won't enter into the house. So that's where, like, during the time in the Shilla period, you see a lot of these Talchum masks being put in the houses in Korea because it wards away the evil spirits and brings good luck. I don't know how I'm doing for time, but I'll show you a real quick video of this. Just one thing. So it's like this dance in particular, as opposed to like some of the other dances that I study.
Innovation Society to train.
It has a lot of like big movements, a lot of the more complicated techniques. There can be some elegance found in it, but it's
In
more
the successors.
They're singing pansori.
After the Korean War that broke out on June 25th, 1950,
Pretty cool.
Korea was divided into two.
And when they sing pansori, they use ancient Chinese, so sometimes even the Koreans don't
Fortunately, the
understand.
majority of the
Even with the
performers
massive,
were able to escape to the south, and they have made a tremendous effort to preserve it until the present day.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It is.
Alright, so that was Talchum. So the next dance I want to talk to you about is Komu, which is a sword dance. Traditionally, it was actually performed by men as well, but now we see kisongs were more associated with later on. This is actually really rare to see this because a lot of the swords that they perform in are a lot shorter now. They have hooked handles that swivel. It's easier to handle. It's actually really cool to see. But Komu is a sword dance that originated from the Shilla period of Korean history. There's no singing in this dance, so you don't see these dancers sing pansori. But a lot of the focus is made on the swords and the sparkling swords skills. Kisongs, which are like the Korean versions of geishas, right? And they dress in decorative gowns that resemble what the traditional soldiers at the time would wear. So it's kind of like what men would wear. And it originally incorporated the use of masks, but that was discarded later on. You see a lot of these things, a lot of these later dances actually have a lot of influences from Talchum. And here's a picture of them dancing. It's really elegant, really pretty. And they move in careful sync with one another. It imitates a battle. And the story with this and how it started, there was a 7-year-old boy from the Shilla period. I'll call him Kwang just for time's sake, but he went to a rival kingdom of Baekje to make a name for himself. And when he went there, he was invited by the king of Baekje to perform in front of him. And seizing the opportunity, the little boy, 7 years old kid, he murdered the king. Believe that? He killed the king. And later on, the kid was killed himself. But he's kind of honored as a hero He was honored as a hero later on in the kingdom of Shilla. And a lot of the people in the morning they made masks that resembled his face, and that's how the sword dance came about. And I'll have if you type this in, you can see it on YouTube. But that dance is really pretty. And then last dance I want to talk to you about is Hakchung. What is Hakchung?
Great.
Oh, how do you know? Oh, okay. So Hakchung is the crane dance. I saw this when I was a kid growing up in Atlanta. This was like it blew my mind because I really thought it was a real crane on the stage dancing. But yeah, the guy had sneakers on. And so in the Tomne, this is also called the Tomne crane dance. Tomne is the area where it originated from in Korea. It's a very realistic crane dance. It's associated with men that are very, they have really good morals, that are like sophisticated. And how this started, it kind of came about as an accident because in the Tomne region of Korea, there's like a festival that was held, like a tug of war festival. And at the time, there'd be like a big dance where everyone would come in. And there's a guy there. He had a white gown. He had the contrasting black hat on. A lot of people recognize him as a swan, like as a crane dancer, because the way he danced, he looked like a crane. I have a picture of him right here. But again, this dance is a very elegant dance. It's associated with being a very cultured man. Initially, it wasn't too complicated of a costume because even the first guy that did it, the no-name hero, he just wearing a white gown. So it wasn't really too sophisticated. But these days we see a lot of the performance wear like an actual costume that looks like a crane. And this is actually performed to cut misfortune and to provide good luck. So you taught you this. You know what? I can just I'll do this.
Since the dawn of time, man has pondered life's single most
Okay, so this is the dance. Like when I was a kid, I didn't expect a crane to walk out. It's so real. The one I saw was more real than this, though. It's kind of fake. Really pretty. They use their wings to cut misfortune in the performances, and that's pretty much it. Sorry, that was kind of brief, but it brings in closing. Like, I want you to impress upon you the importance of what I've learned myself. I don't know if any of you guys, if dance is even important to any of you guys, but for me, learning about this has helped me become a better dancer and understand the heritage in Korea more. I think I mentioned it a little earlier, but dance itself, it's like a collection of culture, right? You can follow a chronology or a history of a nation through a dance, and you can find that here in Korea as well. I mean, and it really left a deep impression in my heart and what I learned, and helped me understand my heritage a little bit more, and really illustrates the love of life that can be found in Korean culture. That's it. That's my story.